This is a place.
This is a place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place. Welcome to This is a Place podcast, voted the #1 podcast by Brandon's mother. My name is Nathan, and with me, as always, is my trusted co-host, Brandon. How are we doing today, Brandon?
Good. Thanks, Mom, for your support in this and in every one of my endeavors. Hopefully we get a few more supporters as we go.
Hopefully, as time goes on, maybe I can convince my mom to start listening. But,
maybe.
Today's topic is going to be a classic topic. And why is it going to be a classic, Brandon?
Well, we will be covering the Classic Fun Center, or as we both know it, classic skating.
Classic skating, that's what it will always be to me, is classic skating, because that's what it was growing up. So what topics are we going to try to cover today in our classic episode, Brandon?
Well, let's start off with what anybody would do these days is obviously you have to Google the place beforehand, find out what it's like.
Customer reviews of classic skating.
This is from Ross. I wouldn't give it 1 star, $210 wasted. Worst experience ever and way overcrowded. Don't waste your money.
How much?
First off, Ross, why are you spending $200 at classic skating?
$200 at classic skating? Wow, inflation has really gone up since I've been there.
I know it. I don't know if he was trying to say $2.10, but $210, he did something wrong.
Or maybe he tried really hard to get something out of the toy machine, the crane machine, whatever they call them.
This is from SK Girl. I went to classic skating with my family. We were having fun until we went to the jungle place. My sister and brother, which are little to go on the little jungle, they went on the slide and a kid peed on them. It made them cry. The person that runs the jungle to get it didn't want to clean it up, so we left and got a refund. Don't go to the jungle. You'll never know what happened to it. It's called the jungle for a reason. If you're not getting peed on, I'd be wondering what's going wrong.
Yeah, exactly. My question is, did he pee his pants and pee on them, or did he just pee
I don't want to speculate too much. Either way,
it's not good.
It's not good.
That's good to know.
Sam, our friend on Google, is reminiscing from older days. He says, used to be great, but then they permanently ripped out the water slides. Now the whole place is dead to me.
Because the water slides were fantastic.
Yeah. Very dated and shabby place and quite unsafe. Restrooms are simply a disaster. Food and drinks very unhealthy. However, a great idea of an indoor fun, and it would be very appealing if it was revamped and brought to today's health, safety, and hygiene standards. If you're looking for healthy food, I don't think this is the place to go.
Healthy food?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to classic skating because you want to eat healthy.
I don't think classic skating has vegan, gluten-free options.
They did not when I was growing up. I don't think that was even a thing back then. But
they'll be lucky if I buy an icy from there.
I mean, you are exercising, so you do have the right to eat unhealthy food, right? It's because you just burn off those extra calories.
Exactly. Okay, I've got one more review. This is from Soda Pop Nikki.
Okay.
Fell and broke my nose. 1 star.
Sorry. Is that classic skating's fault? Maybe she didn't know how to skate.
I don't know.
Who knows she was even skating?
Either way, they broke the nose, and that, I guess, merits a 1 star.
Absolutely.
So, these have all been subpar reviews we've talked about. Obviously, we're covering classic skating because we think it's a classic and we love it. The 1 stars are just the funniest ones.
What's the maximum stars you can give it?
You can get a 5. Last time I checked, it was at 4.3, and looking right now, they actually have risen to 4.4 average. So It's actually not a bad place.
All right.
By these standards.
As long as you don't break your nose or get peed on, you're going to have a great experience, is what you're saying.
You would hope so. Don't go looking for healthy food.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Sorry.
We'll talk about the waterfall a little bit later.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's talk about classic skating, why don't we? You are obviously our resident classic skating expert, and tell us a little bit about why.
Well, my experience with classic skating dates back to probably the 5th grade when I started going to classic skating. So how old are you in 5th grade? 11?
Yeah.
10, turning 11, I think. And then when I was 13 years old, I had manager of Classic move into my neighborhood, and he started hiring a bunch of us kids to work there. So I was 13 years old when I started working at Classic Skating, and worked till I was about 18 years old. So spent 5 years of my teenage years working at Classic Skating.
And could it have been a better life?
Couldn't have been any better than that. Getting paid to go to Classic Skating. So started off, I paid to go there, and then started getting paid to go there. So
obviously, if anyone has any questions about Classic Skating, Classic Fun Center,
back in the 90s,
Nathan is the one to go to.
I'm one of the guys you can go to. But it's changed dramatically since I was in 5th grade or even started working there. So
that was only a couple years ago, right?
That was only a couple years ago. Defined couple years.
When I was in 5th grade, that was my first time going there as well. I was mowing lawns that summer for my grandpa, and got a modest wage, and I went that first Friday night and spent it all on Classic Skating with all my friends. It was a good time.
Yeah? Did you use rollerblades or roller skates?
I used rollerblades because at that time the rollerblades were cool. I haven't been skating in a while, but hear that roller skates are the new cool thing now.
Yes, although that's my observation is my daughter but my daughter does go to Classic Skating. She's 8, turning 9 soon, and I've gone to fetch her a few times from Classic Skating, and it seems like on the wall they tend to have more of the roller skates for sale than the roller blades. So I'm assuming that means the rollerblade trend has kind of faded out.
Consumer tastes have changed.
Consumer taste, yeah. Because rollerblades were kind of a newer thing back in the 90s.
Rollerblades are so much cooler, though.
So much cooler.
To me.
Yes.
In my 5th grade skating preferences.
And it really kind of was growing up. It seemed like if you're wearing roller skates, you were not as cool as the person on the rollerblades, or at least that was my observation. But I still enjoyed getting on the roller skates. Compared to the rollerblades, I guess it depends on the activity you're doing. But if I'm skating around in a circle 100 times in a row, I prefer to be on roller skates.
I mean, you think about what was happening between that time, like 90s, to where I was at the age of skating. Like, it was like X Games, skateboarding, roller skates, all that kind of stuff was like relevant. Everybody wanted to be in like the X Games and stuff. So
yeah, who doesn't?
That's why people were rollerblading, because it was, you can't do cool tricks and roller skates like that.
If I'm going outside and doing some aggressive skating, as you may call it, I would prefer to be on rollerblades. I don't know if I've ever actually roller skated outside before. I'd fear I would fall a lot more on roller skates, but maybe I'm wrong. Where rollerblades seem to have better control on concrete and asphalt and all that good stuff. So, but like I said, if I'm skating around in a circle, just in a circle, as Post Malone would say, circles, I would prefer to be on roller skates. So
we should probably clarify that while we're kind of focusing on the skating portion of Classic, that it has so much more to offer. That's probably mostly what we'll talk about today, because that's what our experience has been, and we'll come back to Classic Skating in a future episode and cover the rest of it.
Yeah.
But from their website or their blurb about themselves on Google, it says they're an amusement center with a range of kids' activities such as roller skating, laser tag, video games, birthday parties, etc. I want to say right now, they need to fix that, because there's so much more than fun for kids.
What would you add, Brandon?
No, I'm saying they limited it to kids. They're obviously just trying to cater to the kids, but here we are, 2 adult men talking about how great this place is. We're being ignored.
It should just be Family Fun Center.
That's what it is.
Oh.
It is the Family Fun Center.
Then why do they need to change their...
I don't know. They need to fix it. It's been probably a while since I've been there. Have you been there recently?
It was probably a good 6 months ago that I went to pick up my daughter. She now goes with a friend, and they bring her home, so I haven't gone to fetch her for a while. But it's been a moment since I've been there as a customer or to enjoy the facility.
We're going to have to go back.
So we used to rent out the water slides for like family reunion, but it's been about 10 years since we've done that.
Well,
so
you can't do it anymore.
It's probably been at least 10 years since I've gone there to use the facility for my own enjoyment. But as far as like skating there, it's probably been at least 20 years since I've skated.
So I guess this place is like super nostalgic. You think about it, it takes you back to the good old days, right? One of the reviews I didn't read talked about how they care so much about the nostalgia that they even leave the carpet the same shabby carpet from back in the old days. So hey, kudos to them for like, still catering to that nostalgic feeling.
I wonder if it's still the same carpet then from back when I was there. I know they replaced
That's what they said.
That's what replaced the carpet once or twice while I was working there.
That was the last
At least
time.
Once, but maybe that was the last time. Interesting. Still great.
You got the two sides, so you've got the main center with the oval, and you got the games on the side, the tables on the other side. And
the snack bar still there?
Snack bar. You got the DJ where Nate was DJing back in the day.
Yep.
Did you have a DJ name?
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
That's where Nate Dogg came from. Maybe. So, but yeah, when I was growing up, and it was till maybe 97 era that they only had the one building with the water slides, so the oval. So you're talking about, so when you started going, you had the side with the
bigger oval?
The public bathroom.
Oh, did they have a public bathroom back there?
Yeah, the jungle gym, remember? Or whatever. So it was about 96 or 97 that they added a building to the, I think, what would that be, the east side of the complex. And they added, at the time it was a skate park with a big kind of Olympic type speed skating oval.
Once again, catering to that desire to be in the X Games and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So they had the skate park because that was before they started making public skate parks throughout the city.
And I think I remember in the early days that same thing. I feel like as I would go later, I saw it change and they kind of took it out. They still had like the kind of like a big, still like a open skating area around the whole thing, but in the middle they'd change it to like bounce houses or this jungle or whatever else it may be.
I'm guessing because of the fact that they started making the skate parks that there was no desire for anybody to pay money to go to a skate park. So, and that changed. Yeah, I think when I was there last, it kind of looked like a jungle gym type park. I don't know if they had inflatables or what do you call it, bounce houses, but it's definitely changed over the years, that's for sure. And as you read in one of the reviews, the water slides are now no longer. So I believe they closed it down maybe at least a year ago, if not longer. And the rumor I've heard is that they're going to build something else in its place. So bye-bye.
Coming soon.
Bye-bye water slides. And Brandon, did you ever have a chance to check out the water slides?
Not the water slides.
Oh, man.
But this might be my crazy fascination with this thing, but I remember a waterfall inside classic skating.
A waterfall inside the building?
Yeah, so in the other half, the addition, there was some kind of a waterfall as you'd skate around, and I'd always skate around that because I wanted to be by the waterfall. Don't know if it was ever there, don't know if this is something in my mind. We're always chasing those waterfalls.
Always chasing the waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls, Brandon.
No.
So you believe there used to be a waterfall in the new addition, which not so new anymore.
Yeah, I shared this with my wife, and she said no.
She said no.
Yeah.
Flat out no.
So I can't find any pictures online. It's just tucked away.
Because you've talked about it a few times with me, like maybe that's put an image that I believe there used to be a waterfall, but I can't confirm or deny that there used to be a waterfall. So if you used to go to classic skating 20 years ago, let us know if there used to be a waterfall in the new edition.
And if there was, and you all miss it like I do, I think we need to start like a change.org thing.
Or if they never had it, maybe they should put a waterfall in there.
I like your thinking.
Maybe that would be worth the admission of the $200 that guy paid if it had a waterfall. He might change his review from a 1-star to a 3-star.
I think that changes the value, definitely.
Oh, easy. Overnight. Instant value.
Definitely.
Instant.
So let's talk about what it's like at Classic. What kind of things you're going to see? or if there's a lot of fog that night, what you're not going to see.
Like today or back in the day?
Oh, back in the day. I mean, I'm sure a lot hasn't changed. Like, they're always playing the good songs, right?
Top 40?
Top 40,
sure.
yeah. Maybe they'll have, like, I think I saw on the website they do, like, 80s nights, things like that. They do have, like, adult nights.
Are they doing 80s nights now?
Something like that.
Jeez. So
But we should go check it out. You know, they say they do cater to adults on specific nights of the week.
On the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, even growing up, they would have nights, I want to say even like Thursday nights was like, they did dances. So they've done dances at classic skating, not just roller skating. They've done concerts. They've done...
Tell us about that.
Concerts?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the bigger concerts that came through, well, it's probably not relevant to our younger listeners now, but a band called Creed.
Creed Bratton?
Creed. Just Creed. Just straight Creed. I don't even know who you're talking about.
From The Office, Creed Bratton.
Oh, Creed Bratton. I thought you were talking about a band. Yeah,
he is a band.
That's true. He has musical talent, that's for sure. So Creed came rolling through. An artist named Monique came through when she was first starting, and a few others. So kind of interesting place to have a concert, that's for sure. I do remember when...
Were they on skates during the performance?
No, it's a concert, just like you probably would at Saltaire or anything else. Just kind of a different venue that you...
So I'm trying to imagine So where do they set up?
So they would set the stage towards the end where the water slides were.
Okay.
Is where their stage would be. And then their dressing room was probably the water slide.
Do they really have a dressing room?
Probably not. Well, that's probably their entrance and exit just to to not go through the public. So
keep themselves hidden so they can make their grand entrance.
Exactly. And it would be extremely, extremely loud. I mean, that's such a small place to hold a concert, but the concerts were really rad, really loud. I do remember when Creed came rolling through, I was just like, I think we left. This is boring. And then a month later, they were like playing in stadiums. They were just huge for
I mean, look how big they are now.
And then they just went, they went to the top of the mountain and fell off the cliff pretty quick, didn't they? So, yeah, it's kind of a fun place. Like I said, like not just for skating, they did other private parties and things of that nature. So, but going back to your thing, they do theme nights. For me, growing up, Friday night, I think they called it party night, and that was more catered towards the teenager type crowd. And then Saturday night was disco night, where kind of more catered towards the high school through college age was kind of the target age group, but you still would have adults and whatnot come rolling through. No pun intended.
Well, I mean, I always remember I wouldn't go on like a specific theme night, but they'd always have fun games. Like they'd play the chicken song.
Yeah.
What is that song? The chicken dance?
The chicken dance? Or the chicken song? The I mean, they do that.
That kind of stuff. Hokey pokey.
Yeah, hokey pokey.
I love the train that they would do. Like one person would start, everybody would grab on the back of each other, and you just have like a long train of people skating. I feel like a lot of people fall down during that.
Yeah, I was going to say the last person gets whipped.
But it's fun. It's fun.
Sure, that was fun. And then they would even kids would take off their skates and they would do like the line dancing with like Boot Scoot and Boogie or the electric slide, stuff like that. And even with the disco nights, we would play a lot of stuff off of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album. And it became a thing where kids would take off their skates and run to the middle of the floor underneath the disco ball that was right in the middle and would start doing their Michael Jackson dancing impersonations. So came so big that we ended up doing a contest with all the other classic skatings, which we haven't even talked about. I believe there's 4 classic skatings. You have Sandy, you have...
Sandy's where we're focused.
Sandy's where we're talking about. So everything we're talking about today is about Sandy because that's the one we know of and went to. But you have locations in...
Riverdale?
Riverdale's one, Layton's another, Sandy, and then Orem. Is it Orem or Provo? I believe it's Orem.
Yeah, Orem
has one. So anyways, going back to the to the Michael Jackson contest, we ended up having a contest with all the rinks where everybody had their own individual contest to pick a winner. And then we went down to Orem on a Saturday night and had a final contest, and whoever won, if I remember correctly, won a trip to Hawaii, and while they're in Hawaii they got a helicopter ride. And the kid who...
Did they get to go to Hawaii with Michael Jackson?
I don't know. He could have made a guest appearance.
Hopefully
I'm
not.
Sure. I don't think he did. But yeah, the winner of the whole contest out of all the classic skating came from our Sandy location. So it was kind of fun. And not just the Michael Jackson dancing. A lot of times if a song came on that you could feel the beat and want to do some break dancing, a lot of kids would go to the middle of the rink and take off their skates and do their break dancing dance stuff. And
we'll see some break dancing with those roller skates, though.
Yeah, I mean I keep my skates on and I
you do those twirls. You do the leg up one. What did you call that?
Oh, shoot the duck.
Shoot the duck.
Where you basically are sitting down as much as you can, and then you put one of your legs out in front of you.
Yeah, all the things I aspired to do, but never.
It was a requirement if you were trying to get your roller skating merit badge to be able to shoot the duck.
Is there really a roller skating merit badge?
Yes, of course. There was a merit badge for everything, especially back in the day.
Rest in peace, Scouts.
Rest in peace, Boy Scouts of America. But yeah, the break dancing was fun. My little brother also worked at classic skating at one point. My older brother as well. And the funny thing my little brother used to do is when they would do their break dance circles, we would have the little brooms with the little dust bucket thing that you'd walk around and sweep up the floors. And his thing would be to act like he was sweeping the floor while they're doing their break dancing, and then somehow he'd end up in the middle of the floor. Then he would drop the broom and his dustpan and start doing his version of break dancing, and it was quite hilarious. It was fun, good times at Classic. The cool thing about, for me, my experience of working at Classic Skating is, like I just mentioned, both my brothers work there, and not just my brothers, but a lot of the not kids, but a lot of my friends from the neighborhood work there. They're not just my friends from the neighborhood, but you become friends with the people who work there. So when you were working at Classic, it almost felt like you were going to hang out with your friends, and then you also got paid for hanging out and doing some work at the same time. So,
well, I'll say, as fun as it is to be with your friends at Classic, we should talk about the most important reason why we'd go to Classic and why anyone ever would want
why
to.
we started going there in the first place. In 5th grade, why we went. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Right. And that's the best moment of the whole night is the snowball.
The snowball.
So the snowball is basically the opportunity when a young young tween gets the opportunity to hold a boy or girl's hand for the first time.
Absolutely. And that really is the main reason you started going to Classic Skating, right?
Why we have so much nostalgia for this place is thinking back of those wonderful days, the sweaty hands, the awkward, no talking to each other, just skating to the jams.
You wouldn't talk to the person you're holding their hand?
No.
You wouldn't even say, like...
I was in 5th grade.
You wouldn't say, hi, my name's Brandon? That's part about the extent for me is like, hi, my name's Nathan. Hi, my name's Jill, or whatever.
Well, so for me, usually it was, I'd go with like a group from my school. So we'd go, like, all of us from the 6th grade at my elementary school. We'd all go together. Like, we're all going to Classic Skating this night. And then you already know the person. There's no need for introduction. You just hold your hands.
Oh, so you would go with boys and girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
we all orchestrated it, and then we all ended up there. Our parents took us, and then you didn't need to have that exchanging of information because you knew you were going to see the person. You were going to pass them a note on Monday.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Asking them if they'd go out with you.
I thought you would go to Classic Skating to look for girls.
No.
So you went to Classic Skating
to see the girls. Not with them, but to see the girls that I knew.
Be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. It would be kind of awkward for you to say, hi, Jessica, I'm Brandon. She goes, yeah, I know.
You just hope that they would say yes and that your friend didn't get to them before you did.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
but if you did, if you had the success, then yeah, you open the door. Because you guys have already held hands. Like, that's...
I mean,
That's pretty high up the adolescent.
You've taken that relationship to a different level.
Yeah.
To a new level.
It's obviously going to merit some more talking. Still won't be a lot of talking, but more talking as you go back to school the next week. So,
okay.
Snowball is a special time. They would always do like a boy's choice, girl's choice. Each group would like stand on the opposite ends, and yeah, you'd go skate up and ask them to dance or skate with you.
So for me, Snowball was a little bit different. I don't know if they did this or they just changed the name to Snowball because that's what everyone associated couple skate with. But we would do girls' choice, couple skate, boys' choice, couple skate, and then there was a thing called the Snowball, which would start off with either the DJ or whoever was being the floor guard at the time would go pick a boy or girl to start the Snowball, and their job was to go pick someone to skate with, and they would skate for 20, 30 seconds, and then the DJ would get on and say, okay, Snowball. And what that meant is now they would drop hands, and then each one would go pick another partner to skate with, and then you got two couples on the floor, right?
Yeah, that was not my experience.
And then they say Snowball, and then those couples would have to go find. So
then
the whole point
skating.
is that you start off with two people, and by the end, hopefully everybody's on the floor holding somebody's hand. So instead of just holding one girl's hand, you could hold as many as like 8 in one Snowball. But that's not a memory you have of what the Snowball was, so they must have just changed the name.
As time went on, it evolved, and they're just like, oh, it's just too much work. Let's just line them up, and then they can just go pick who they want to skate with. It saves a lot of effort from the...
And I guess it would depend on the time, too, because if you only had, like, 5 boys and 5 girls who wanted to skate to begin with, or to lining up on the side, Snowball would be kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, great experiences there.
Yeah.
Lots of good things about classic skating, and I don't know, what are some things that we'd want to change if we were there? If we were put in charge, what would we do?
Put in charge? That's hard because I haven't been to classic skating for so long. I don't know what they have changed necessarily. I do know growing up in my era, you either had to have roller skates or roller blades on. And since my visits in the last 10 years or so, I've noticed people have like razor scooters. Is there anything else that they ride out there?
No, I don't think so. Not that I know of. The scooters,
just anything
definitely.
that rolls, almost basically, you can ride on the rink now. Besides, I don't think they allow skateboards.
A lot of comments on their reviews were also to not have the scooters because they kind of get in the way. They get away from people. Sounds like it's a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, I would probably agree with them without having tried it. I could see that being an issue. So if I go there, I want to roller skate and or roller blade. But
I want a waterfall. That's all I
want a waterfall.
If there was a waterfall, bring it back. If there still is a waterfall...
Maybe the reason they closed the water slides is to make a huge waterfall, Brandon.
The whole middle is just going to be a big waterfall.
Just the whole... Where the water slides were, they took it out and they're going to have a big waterfall.
All right, I'm okay with that.
So after you do the snowball, if you really like the person you skated with, you can take them through the waterfall.
Through the waterfall?
I don't know.
That sounds so dangerous and awesome.
So dangerous at the same time. So romantic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Well, I did some additional research looking for this, found some news stories, not much, but Big Buddha did visit in June of 2017. So obviously still a relevant place if Big Buddha was visiting there.
Absolutely. He doesn't go anywhere that's not relevant, right?
No. Some less exciting news. Some creeps can go through classic skating, as it's a place where the youth are.
Yeah.
Just in January 2020, some guy just not being the nicest guy. We'll just put it at that.
Sure.
So
don't just drop your kids off there if they're under a certain age.
Oh my gosh, your daughter goes there.
Yeah, but she's there with her
An adult,
friend. Her
adult supervision.
Her friend's dad is a cop, so I hope he would know how to handle a situation like that. So
they're good. And if you are a creep, just don't go there.
Yeah, please. Just don't be creepy.
Yeah, just don't be creepy.
Yeah.
What more can we say? If I were to give some recommendations about this place, maybe go in the daytime when it's going to be less busy. A lot of people go on the nights and weekends. But if
Sure.
you got time off from work, you got some time during the day.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're going for. I mean, I did the disco nights would get way crowded, but that was kind of part of the fun is going to a kind of like a big party.
Yeah.
But if you're going there to practice your skating moves, then yeah, absolutely. During the day, it's probably a good time to go when it's less crowded, for sure.
Yeah. You got any other recommendations?
So the other day, 7-Eleven had a sale on their pizzas, like their whole pizzas, for a couple bucks, and I've never tried a 7-Eleven pizza. So we went and got a pizza from 7-Eleven, and their oven was broken, so they made us take it home to bake it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like exactly the same pizza we had at Classic Skating. So I had a little bit of nostalgic moment with Classic Skating for their pizza, for their low grade. But the good news is I didn't have to pay back then it was probably like $1 a slice for this really average
cardboard pizza.
A step above frozen pizza.
So is your recommendation to go to 7-Eleven and eat the pizza?
So
you
I
can
don't.
remember
That's the
Classic
question.
Skating.
I don't know if they still have the same pizza as they did back then.
Pizza's not healthy, so
But
it's
if you
likely
use-
they do have it.
It's likely, but I don't know if it's the same company because I feel like when I first started working there, the pizza was a little more frozen type pizza, and then they got like this new what would you call it, vendor that was more of the take and bake type pizza, and that's what the 7-Eleven was, but the quality wasn't super high. It was a step above what it was before. So if you used to go to Classic during the 90s, go try the 7-Eleven pizza and tell me if it's what you remember. But yeah, it was just interesting today, like a couple days ago, going, oh my goodness, this is like the same pizza.
My recommendation would be maybe just don't go there for the food.
No.
Get an icy, you can enjoy an icy.
Oh yeah, snow
there.
cone. I wonder if they still have the same snow cone machine.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, but don't go there looking for a nice meal because you're not going to get it.
And to be honest with you, like when you used to have to work in the snack bar, a lot of times you were by yourself, but it was very rare that it was busy enough that you needed two people in there. But when you had two people in there, it was a lot of fun because you can goof off because there's really nobody coming to get food. Yeah, because you don't go to Classic Skating to get food, that's for sure.
There's plenty of other places around there you can
One
eat.
of my favorite things to do, though, was when somebody came up to the snack bar and they'd say they wanted a nacho and a snow cone. And you say, okay, nacho, snow cone. And you're like, would that be to stay or to go? And the look on their faces,
that's hilarious.
So funny, guys. As a 15-year-old kid, it was so funny. But you'd be surprised how often somebody like turned to their friend and say, are we staying or are we going? So, good times. And hot dogs, it's equivalent to going to 7-Eleven.
Maybe what they should do is focus on that and get some real high-quality food.
Well, when they opened up the new side, they had and I think that's gone now, but they had a snack bar over there too that had a little more variety. Like they had like mozzarella sticks and chicken tenders or something like that, but I believe that's gone. But the cotton candy, I wonder if that's still there.
You still have cotton candy.
Oh, it was miserable making cotton candy because most cotton candy, they had a huge cotton candy machine in the back room, and most cotton candies when you go to the fair and stuff, they have that little stick right that you twirl around. No, we had to use our hand. So you put on a glove, right? And just imagine like
all the little
sugar shooting out 1,000,000 miles an hour at your hand.
Oh man!
And every once in a while, the sugar clumps up, right? And so you'd have like almost like a rock or something just nail your hand, and it would tear your glove open because it would just hurt. So you had to like wait for it to make a ring of cotton candy, and then hurry and stick your hand in and try to pull it out, and then stuff it into a bag.
So they still do that. I do not want hand cotton candy.
Well, you're supposed to be wearing a glove.
Supposed to be wearing a glove. This is the key.
Well, if you're not talking about sweaty hands, can you imagine sticking your hand in?
Hey, I just got done with a snowball. I'm going to go make some cotton candy.
Well, I would bet most places like that, you don't ever want to see how they prepare the food, right?
You hate to see it.
Yeah, even most restaurants, I don't think you want to see how they prepare your food or where it was stored. So, but we'll leave that topic for another episode.
I think we need to visit again sometime.
Oh, I think we need to go back, try it, and it's...
I'll send you into the jungle gym.
Jungle gym?
I'll stick to the laser tag or something else. But, yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening to our classic skating episode.
If you have any memories or comments of your thoughts on classic skating, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook at This Is a Place Podcast. We're also on Instagram. The same thing, This Is a Place Podcast. This Is a Place Pod on Twitter. And then you can also email us at thisisaplacepodcast@gmail.com. So let us know what places you want us to visit. We've got quite an extensive list of where we're going to be covering, but we want to know where the people want us to go, and we will go there.
Yeah, and we want to know your experiences of classic skating, and if you've been there recently, what do we need to check out or skip?
So, okay. Well,
Right.
Thanks again.
We'll see you next time.